It's time for another episode of the 90-Day Garden. Dennis Daly goes back into the archives for another day in the life of a real garden as broadcast on radio back in 2000.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to day 37 in the 90-Day Garden. I'm Dennis Daly, and we're watching the garden grow for this 3-month period, starting out from scratch, from seed for most of our plants, including our corn, and sets for our broccoli and our onions. You know, a lot of people treat their gardens as if they are their children. They give them tender, loving care. Well, one of the things we've been doing in the 90-Day Garden is to do a garden that doesn't take too much work. As a matter of fact, if you joined us early on, you know that there's one unconventional aspect to our garden, and that is between every row of planted vegetables or flowers, there is a row of grass. We have left the lawn wide enough to run the lawnmower down between the rows. I've been out doing some hoeing and weeding and transplanting and moving around of plants, but for the most part, I've let the garden go on its merry way. We have applied some plant food to our tomatoes, but we haven't done any pest control yet or any plant food application to the other part of the garden. But one thing I have been doing is talking to these plants. Maybe not talking to them when anyone's around, but just talking to them to see what will happen. Many people believe that plants can indeed sense mood. Now, I don't think you should go out and conduct an experiment where you yell at your plants just to see if those will wilt. There are some greenhouse operators who tell you that soothing music does wonders for their plants. What do you think about that? Have you had any experience in talking to your plants? Has it helped any? A lot of senior citizens have plants inside and find growing plants very therapeutic. A lot of doctors and psychologists are using plants now as a way to soothe people's minds, to give them something to do that will show results. Maybe not immediately, but of course that's what we're seeing here. There is a great amount of satisfaction in tilling the soil, putting in the seeds, and watching your garden grow. There can, of course, be an immense amount of disappointment when things go wrong. That's why I'm so worried about the bush beans. Later in the week, we're going to have to call in an expert and talk about them. We've had to transplant some of our bush beans to get them all in one place. My neighbor, Leonard Ray, told me that maybe I should have put 2 seeds in every hole when we planted the bush beans and then gone ahead and thinned them out. Maybe that is a lesson for next year, to not expect 100% germination, to put in too many seeds, and then go through a little bit of a hassle in thinning the plants, rather than wondering why nothing is coming up at all. Join us again when we get together in the 90-Day Garden.
Join Dennis again for another visit to the 90-Day Garden right here on YouTube.